FM 94, The Dark. JC hanging out with you here. And yes, it's a Wednesday night. You know what that means, everybody? Yeah, it's time to get to know another band. We play here on The Dark, and on the phone right now, I'm talking with the lead singer of the band Letters from the Fire, that being Elliot Weber. And Elliot, first of all, where are you calling from today?
I'm actually in my home state, Arizona. Took some time off to, have Father's Day and spend some time with some family. But, I'm in Arizona at the moment.
How's the weather in Arizona?
It's too hot. When we started it, when the opportunity arose to start doing a record about 10 months ago, I was thankful because it got me out of this heat.
Well, I tell you what, one thing I told our listeners here that I was not going to complain about heat this year because we were basically enjoying a lot of 30 below weather this winter. So I said, as long as it's like 80, 90, 100 degrees, I'm not complaining about the heat because I did not like winter.
Oh, right. I mean, I wish it would get a little cooler here. But man, it is excruciating heat, and it's dry heat in Arizona, like real dry.
Now, originally, obviously, that's where you're from, but your band is actually from California. Am I correct on that?
Yes, I moved to California, again, about 10 months ago when we started the record. I'm currently living with Mike, the guitar player. And, the rest of the band is from the Bay Area, and then our drummer is from L.A., actually.
Okay. Here's what I want to know. I want to know about this band, Letters from the Fire, and how it all came about. How did it come about?
So, Letters from the Fire, they have been a group, or we've been a group for a few years now. I actually came in, replaced their other singer that they had, Carly. I guess things were going in different directions between them and whatnot, and Mike hit me up and asked me about a year and a half ago if I wanted to come and join Letters from the Fire, or just try a few tracks out and see if we meshed. And the way Mike and I met was with their previous singer, Carly. They played a show in Arizona, and another group that I'm involved in played a show with them. And so Mike remembers that show, and that was about 3 years ago. And all of a sudden, in my inbox on my Facebook, I get a message from Mike asking me to come, try out for their lead singer position.
And the rest is history after that, right?
And then after that, it was, don't get me wrong, we had the the first day jitters of working with someone because I never really, I met Mike, I just never really hung out with him.
Right.
And then it came in, the first day was kind of odd, and then honestly, the second day is when we got together, put together that like Eleanor Rigby track that everyone's hearing right now, and our next single as well, which will be rolling out here shortly. That's when the day we knew it kind of clicked. And then we brought in Ben, which plays drums. Now, granted, the rest of the guys, Grayson and Clayton, Clayton on bass, Grayson playing rhythm, they've all been in Letters from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then myself and the drummer Ben are new additions to Letters from about 10 months ago.
Right. The one question I always like to ask, and I'm assuming you kind of do know the history of the name, but how did the name all come about, Letters from the Fire? Did the guys tell you how they came up with that name?
Mike was telling me one day, like writing personal messages, to yourself, within yourself, and the passion and the fire within yourself. And the music is kind of like that. It's Letters from the fire within. And so I believe it was a name that came up with this internal message within yourself among many different, aspects of your life, and then putting them out on like paper, like actually getting that thought out. And I think that's how it came about, pretty sure.
We're talking with Elliot Weber. He's the lead singer of the band Letters from the Fire, and probably a lot of people are scratching their head, Letters from the Fire, who is this? But obviously you just mentioned about a minute or two back your current song, Eleanor Rigby, which is also a remake of the Beatles song. Talk about that in actually doing a remake of a Beatles song. Was that a scary thing for you to do?
It's a very risky thing to do. Some people, everyone knows the Beatles, and some people will think that, their music's untouchable, and then others will think, that they wouldn't mind hearing the cover. So when we first wrote that song, Mike was just messing around to the riff of the original song, and it came together within an hour. It was very seamless, and so we were kind of hesitant when we first put it out, but we bounced off some of our people like Eric Baker and whatnot, and he came back with some good feedback from some other radio PDs, and then we did what any other band would do: roll the dice.
You know what? Eric was one of the guys that approached me and said, "Hey, give this a listen. What do you think?" And I said, "I thought it was great." In fact, the reason I liked it is because Eleanor Rigby's kind of it's kind of a gloomy kind of song,
Yeah.
And you guys really just put an extra kick into it, and I think that in itself, with that the word I'm looking for maybe is just that energy that's in there, totally changed the song.
And when you do a cover, and this is for any cover, but we wanted to make sure that we also keep the integrity, but also make it our own.
Right.
And if you can accomplish that with a cover song, I think you're doing it justice.
Well, I tell you what, since Eric sent it to us a few months back, we've been spinning it, and I'm glad to say that now it's in the top 50 in the active rock format. That's got to make you pretty happy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that is definitely a great milestone for us. Understanding with all the changes that the group has gone through and this new direction that we're going, it is a great accomplishment. And, hopefully we can just keep climbing. And for any band, that's the idea. And for us, we're really ecstatic about and really excited for this upcoming year and our record that we'll be releasing, I believe, in the fall. But yeah, it's definitely an accomplishment in which we kind of didn't see coming, but, again, you roll the dice on your music, and hopefully you can break the chart.
Well, at least this is kind of a groundbreaker for you. Kind of opens the door for everybody to see now. And now, obviously, they're going to be anticipating your next stuff. And you'd mentioned you have a new album coming out, hopefully in the fall. You also mentioned just before we started this interview, you have another single coming out soon. Can you explain that single or talk about it yet?
Yes, I can. We're going to have an original single come out. I believe here shortly. I want to say in July. Now, knowing Eric and our team, sometimes they may push that back, so don't quote me, but I believe in July sometime, we will be releasing our next single, which is called Zombies in the Sun. And we have shot a video as well for it. It's really just trying to be strategic on when do we release that song, understanding the feedback that we're getting from the cover.
And obviously, I've done a little research on you guys, too. You're going on tour here very shortly with Trapt, yes, too, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Chris is a good friend of ours. And, it was funny, Mike, when Mike and Eric first went and spoke with Chris, Mike and Chris have a very good relationship, and it goes back within their families. And when Mike sent them over our demo stuff, Chris was on the phone, about 20 minutes later, calling Mike saying, "Hey, you guys have something here. Let's work together on this." And when Chris came over, and he gave us kind of a little challenge on when we were writing these songs. He necessarily didn't write the songs with us, but he challenged us to be better songwriters. And I feel, to keep the integrity of our band, and he agreed, was, I don't want to come here and write it for you. I want to challenge you guys to be better artists, and it really helped us in our writing process. So mad kudos to Chris and Trapt, and we're definitely excited looking to go out on the road with them. It should be a very, very good run.
And I see here on your dates, Saturday, August 9th, you're going to be up here in Minnesota at POV 65 in Spring Lake Park, so the fans around this area will get a chance to not only see Trapt, but also to find out about the band Letters from the Fire. Have you ever been up to Minnesota before?
My mom's from there.
Oh, okay.
I can't say I probably went there when I was young. I don't remember being there, but I really have not spent much time up in that area. But here's another good fact. On that day, August 9th, someone happens to be turning 31.
Well, that'll be a little fun night then, won't it?
Time to celebrate.
It will be. It will be indeed. Hey, let's get a couple more questions here to get to know you a little bit more. What's in your music collection that might shock me?
Ooh. I mean, I listen to everything.
Okay.
Let's see here. What would shock you? You know what? I have Coldplay's new record.
Okay. That's cool.
I have that. I don't know if that's shocking.
No.
I listen to Elton John. I also have some R&B in there, some, techno. I mean, I listen to everything, so there might be a few tracks in there. You're like, wow, I can't believe you listen to that. Here's one for you.
Okay.
Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates.
She's Gone.
There you go. My mother-in-law's a huge Hall & Oates fan. Now, I'm dating myself a little bit here, but that's all right. And the reason I ask that question a lot to artists like yourself is because a lot of times, guys writing music and all that stuff, that's kind of how they put together their music.
Yeah, I mean, we all, we're writing rock songs and we're doing that. That's not all the stuff we, when we have time off and when we're just messing around in the studio, we're always messing with new kinds of sounds. And I think everyone in our band listens to everything, almost everything. And so I think it's good as a musician and artist to be well-rounded and understand, different chord progressions that this industry or this kind of genre might be having. And, how can you take everything that you're pulling in from all these different sources of music and make it your own? I mean, that's the challenge, because that seems to be, hey, if you come out with something different, it's catchy, catches on like a wildfire. So as an artist, it's good to be influenced and also by the plethora of music we have,
right,
but to put it back out as on our own.
We're talking with Elliot Weber. He's the lead singer of the band Letters from the Fire, and obviously their current song out right now is a Beatles remake of Eleanor Rigby. And one of my questions that I always ask artists, and this is going to be kind of odd to ask you, but what artist would you like to cover one of your songs? Now, you don't really have much of a huge library yet, and you actually, in fact, covered a song from a group. But once you do get a library out there, what artist would you like to maybe cover one of your songs?
Wow. That's hard to say because
you guys are new.
I love if there's a newer artist, that'd be great. Actually, the day someone covers one of your songs, you have to feel pretty good about it. I'd actually maybe if Paul could put it together, maybe have Paul play our version.
There you go. That would be cool.
That would be amazing. Actually.
That would be. You know what? That would be really cool.
We've even Mike and I have tossed that idea around. Like, hey man, if this song climbs and climbs and keeps climbing, maybe we can get Paul to join us.
I was just going to say, have you gotten any feedback from anybody in that camp at all?
No, we have not.
Okay. But it's early yet.
This early, right.
It's very early.
Just waiting for it. If that even happens, that will just be another milestone.
Absolutely. Hey,
I think that many people would love.
What current band in the active rock circle right now do you really dig? Who do you like?
Man, I'm a big Chazelle fan, man.
Okay.
I love that group. Great guys. Their music is strong, and a three-piece band that comes and just brings it.
Right.
Like that. It's something to see.
Hey, what does it mean to you to hear your song on the radio?
It was weird at first, but it's just it means everything. You go after this life of music forever in hopes of being able to tour and get your song on the radio, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. Honestly, it's the biggest string of luck, I guess, you could hold on to, and to hear the song on the radio and something that we did and it climbing the chart. That is just humbling, very, very humbling. And it just reminds me to stay that way.
Very cool, very cool. We're talking with Elliot Weber, lead singer of the band from Letters from the Fire. And obviously you said you have a new album coming out very soon. There's going to be a new song coming out next month. How can people find out more about Letters from the Fire?
Oh, yeah. You can find us on Facebook, Letters from the Fire. Facebook.com, Letters from the Fire, Twitter at LFTF Music, You can also go to our website, lettersfromthefire.net. You could just Google also Letters from the Fire, and it will pull right up. Many ways to find us on the internet.
Well, Elliot, it's been a lot of fun talking to you. I'm looking forward to Saturday, August 9th, not only because we get to see you, but even your birthday. That'll even be better.
It'll be a great celebration. I'm sure we'll pack the house there. I'm looking forward to rocking out in Minnesota and whatnot, and it'll be a great day.
Hey, once again, thanks so much for joining me. You know what? We're going to play your latest song, the cover of the Beatles' Eleanor Rigby. Sound good?
Sounds great, man. Thank you very much.
Once again, that's Elliot Weber. He's the lead singer of the band Letters from the Fire, and you want to hear that new song, that cover of the Beatles? Here it is now. It's Eleanor Rigby, done by Letters from the Fire. It's on The Dark and FM